According to officials, bomb attacks in Kabul and northern Afghanistan Wednesday killed at least 4 people and wounded 13. Police said 2 sticky bombs targeted government employees in the Afghan capital, killing 2 people, including a police officer, and wounding 2 others. Meanwhile, in Puli Kumri, the capital of northern Balalan province, the provincial governor's spokesman said a bomb targeted a vehicle belonging to the provincial intelligence department, killing 2 service members and wounding 11 people, including both military and civilians. Mali's president announced his resignation and the dissolving of parliament early Wednesday after he was arrested by mutinying soldiers. President Ibrahim Boubacar Keita announced he was stepping down in a brief address broadcast on state television. Keita also expressed regret for the loss of lives during demonstrations held on July 10th to 12th. According to news reports on Tuesday, Keita and Prime Minister were taken to the Kati military camp located 15 kilometers northwest of the capital, Bamako. The head of Germany's vaccines regulator said some groups of people living in Germany could be vaccinated early next year against the coronavirus that has killed almost 800,000 worldwide and wreaked havoc on the global economy. More than half a dozen drug makers around the world are conducting advanced clinical trials, each with tens of thousands of participants, and several expect to know if their COVID-19 vaccines work and are safe by the end of this year. Klaus Seichtuck, head of the Paul-Ehrlich Institute, said that data from Phase 1 and Phase 2 trials showed some vaccines triggered an immune response against the coronavirus. Australia has secured access to a promising potential coronavirus vaccine, the Prime Minister announced Wednesday, saying the country would manufacture it and offer free doses to the entire population. Prime Minister Scott Morrison said Australia had reached a deal with Swedish-British pharmaceutical company AstraZeneca to receive the COVID-19 vaccine it is developing with Oxford University. The Oxford vaccine is one of 5 globally in Phase 3 efficacy trials, and researchers hope to have results by the end of the year. Iran surpassed 20,000 confirmed deaths from the coronavirus Wednesday, the health ministry said, the highest death toll of any Middle Eastern country so far in the pandemic. The announcement came as the Islamic Republic, which has been struggling with both the region's largest outbreak and the highest number of fatalities, went ahead with university entrance exams for over 1 million students. Iran is also preparing for mass religious commemorations later this month. The Islamic Republic has since struggled to contain the spread of the virus across this nation of 80 million people, initially beating it back only to see it spike again beginning in June. India crosses another milestone in the battle against the global pandemic with 2 million recoveries on Wednesday. India saw its highest ever single-day recoveries of 60,091 in the last 24 hours, with this high number of COVID-19 patients recovering and being discharged from hospitals and home isolation. In case of mild or moderate cases, the recovery rate has killed the twin peak of crossing 73%. The health ministry said this has also led to the declining case fatality rate, which stands at a new low of 1.91% on Wednesday. South Korea reported on Wednesday its highest daily rise in COVID-19 cases since early March as outbreaks from churches around the capital spread, prompting a warning of a nationwide wave of infections. The 297 new infections mark the 6th straight day of triple-digit increases in a country that has managed to plumb several previous outbreaks. According to data from the Korea Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the national tally rose to 16,058 infections with 306 deaths. New Zealand court on Wednesday found the first 9 days of a hard lockdown put in place by the government earlier this year, requiring people to isolate at home, was justified but unlawful. The ruling comes as Wellington lawyer Andrew Borrowdale challenged the legality of steps taken in the early stages of the 5-week lockdown, including calls by Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern and other officials between March 26th and April 3rd, telling New Zealanders to stay at home. The court said an order imposing stay-at-home restrictions was not passed until April 3rd, so New Zealanders' rights and freedoms were unlawfully limited for those first 9 days. Finland said on Wednesday it will bring back travel restrictions for several countries which it had for months considered safe destinations, including Germany and its Nordic neighbours, to stop the spread of COVID-19. The Ministry of Interior stated that travelling from Iceland, Greece, Malta, Germany, Norway, Denmark, Ireland, Cyprus, San Marino and Japan to Finland will be limited to essential trips starting August 24th, with people returning from those countries required to self-quarantine for 2 weeks. Prior to Wednesday's announcement, Finland had already restricted travelling to and from most of other countries around the globe. England will scrap the government agency responsible for responding to public health emergencies after the country suffered the highest death rate in Europe from the coronavirus pandemic. Opposition parties and health experts questioned why Public Health England, a cornerstone of the state-run health system with responsibility for managing infectious diseases outbreak, was being scrapped with the pandemic still ongoing. Public Health England will have many of its functions merged with the government's contact tracing service into a new body to be known as the National Institute for Health Protection, which will have responsibility to protect the public health from pandemics and infectious diseases. Police said on Wednesday a body found washed up on a beach in northern France is likely that of a teenage migrant who drowned while trying to cross the English Channel with a friend in a rubber boat. The friend, who said he was Sudanese, aged 16, was rescued on Tuesday night after the pair's small inflatable vessel ran into trouble while trying to make their way to Britain from France. Local authorities said he told police his companion of the same age had gone missing at sea. Hours later, a body was found on a beach in Sandgate in France's northern Pas-de-Calais region. The body has not been formally identified, but local official Philippe Sabatier said it was likely that of the missing boy. Protesters lit fires, threw rocks and smashed windows at country government offices in the U.S. city of Portland on Wednesday, prompting police to declare a riot after weeks of mostly peaceful anti-racism demonstrations. Media reports said the protesters lit fires in dumpsters and flames were seen inside the building. TV footage showed people throwing stones at the building and debris on the street in flames. Black Lives Matter protests have been held across the United States in recent months after the May 25th death of George Floyd, a 46-year-old African-American man who died after a white police officer knelt on his neck for nearly 9 minutes.